Creating an index is very important for a formal document. An index generally appears at the end of a document, and it includes keywords and the pages those keywords can be found on. To create an index is really a three-step process. Step 1, we have to create a separate file that contains a table of all the words we want to include in our index. I would like to create an index for this file. First thing I'm going to do is open up a new document. Control N is a quick way for a new file. In that new file, I would like to create a table. So I'm going to go to Insert in the ribbon and choose Table and just ask for a 2x1 table. In the first column, I'll type all the keywords that I would like to include in my index. I'm just pressing the Tab key twice to generate a new row as I go and add more words. So as you can see, I've created a table and the first column is full of all the keywords I would like to include in my index back in the file called Decorating. Now this table and the creating of the index is case sensitive. So when it says planning with a capital P, it will only include those words that have a capital P in the index. So what I'm going to do is select the entire table, and I'd like to take a copy, so I'm going to go Control C. I'll then go to the end of the document and press Control V. I'll then highlight what I've just pasted, and I'd like to change this to uppercase. Now you can use the Change Case button on the Home tab, and you can choose uppercase. There is a key combination also. If you hold the Shift key and keep pressing F3, you'll rotate between lowercase, an initial capital letter, and uppercase. And so you keep holding the Shift down and keep pressing F3 until you get the case you're after, and I'm after uppercase. I'll then copy that, Control C, go to the end of my document, Control End, END, and Control V to paste. I'll then select what I've just pasted, and I'll change that to lowercase by holding the Shift and pressing F3 until I get lowercase. So effectively what I have here is a table with planning completely in lowercase, completely in uppercase, and with an initial capital P. Now this file I'd like to save, so I'm going to press F12. F12 is a function key. It's a quick key to save as. And I'm going to save this file as index, and I might stick it on my desktop. And save. Now that I've saved this file called index, which is a table of all the keywords, I'll now close this file. Control W is to close a window or a file. Control W. So that's step 1 done. Step 1 is to create a file that contains a table of all the keywords. Step 2 is to connect that table with this document by auto-marking all the words in that table in this file. To do that, I'm actually going to switch to page or print layout actually. To the bottom here on your status bar, 3 buttons, I'm going to go the print layout button, and that takes me back to this view. Now the shortcut key for print layout is also Control Alt P. I'm going to press, I'm going to actually select references from the ribbon. I'm then going to go to the index group and choose Insert Index. I'm then going to use the automark button. When I click the automark button, it's going to ask me for the name of the file or to choose the file that contains the table that contains the keywords. So here's our file called index on the desktop, and I'm going to click open. Now as soon as I do that, Word will turn on the show hide, which is normally under home and normally here. And why it turns on the show hide is so that you can see all these XE fields. XE stands for index entry, and what it's done is automatically marked every word in this document that exists in the table as an index entry so that it gets included in the index. If you don't want to see the XE fields, simply turn the show hide or the pilcrow off, and the shortcut key is Control asterisk, and in fact Control Shift asterisk to turn on and turn off the show hide. So that's step 2 done. Step 1, create your table with your keywords in a separate file. Step 2, auto mark all those words in this file. And now step 3, we insert the index. To do this, I'll press Control End, END, to go to the end of the document. I'll then want a page break. Control Enter as a page break. I'll then give it a title such as index and press Enter a couple of times. Now I want to insert my index. On the References tab in the ribbon, I'll go Insert Index, and it's here that I can choose the format or the style of index I'd like. Now formal already appears selected. Usually it's from template that appears, but formal is the most common and I think the best looking index. So I'm going to choose formal. I'm also going to choose 2 columns. So I'll get a formal 2-column index at the back of my document and I'll go OK. And there's my index. What it's done, of course, here's planning. Planning's been found on pages 1 and 2, and it just so happens there's no planning with a capital P or no planning in complete capitals. Now if I didn't like the index style I chose, it's very easy to just go back to Insert Index and to change your mind from formal to any of the others, perhaps modern, and perhaps 1 column, and OK. And that's the modern look. It does pop this up and ask you if you want to replace your index, and of course I would go OK. And there's my modern 1-column index, which actually looks not very nice. So I'm going to go back and change it. I do like the formal. Insert Index, and I'll choose formal. I might keep it on 1 column, and OK. And yes, OK, replace this index. And there's my formal index, 1 column.